Good morning, good morning. Ooh. Oh, that is so cool. I know what. That's called Nola Cleans Up. Yes, ma'am. From She's Gotta Have It. Who was Nola? I know who. I know. If you ever saw She's Gotta Have It, Nola, the the star of the movie, is based on a very close friend of mine. She dated Spike, but she dated a lot of people when she was dating Spike. But yes, so I listened to that, and I've been listening to that today because I'm sending, and I'm listening to a lot of John Mooney and John Boutte and any New Orleans music that I can listen to because it's all about Louisiana and Mississippi right now and keeping Ida chill. You gotta chill, Ida. And there's my alarm. I don't even know why that's on now. Turn off all alarms, please. Ida, simmer down. Most people I know left. I've been chatting with them. And, going to the farmer's market. You remember Julie from Collingsworth Farms? We are going to buy food from Julie today. Julie at the market. There are 5 of you here already. Goodness gracious. Hold the wire. It's the strange Julie Loose, Mama Grace. It's the strangest thing. I turn on my iPad, and ever since everything, when I got thrown in jail and stuff, on Facebook, it won't get me back to my normal page on Facebook. Let's hope that it just did now. No, I can't get back. It's keeping me on my public page. Anyway, oh, cool, long bike rides. Fun. Anyway, it is Sunday morning. I'm a little chill. You're a little chill. Julie Loose, I miss you. Patty Lohman, I didn't call you back because you were out partying last night. What time did you get home, young lady? Looked like fun. See Michael Bailey in the house. What's going on? I know you don't have any mouses because you have cats, but I just absolutely adored having you on the show the other night. Thank you. And thank you for the kind words afterwards. Speaking of really fun people on my show, ladies and gentlemen, Alex Martinez. Oh, I would love to have Mike on. I want everybody on.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Alex. Oh, hold on. I have to bring up my... It's not staying put where it's supposed to be. My music. Is your bed comfortable?
It's very comfortable.
Is it?
It's very comfortable.
You
Yeah.
have multiple
It took me.
pillows going on there?
Yes, I do. I'm kind of clearing the
You're like a girl
background a
with all
little
your
bit.
pillows.
Oh my gosh, I love
I have
pillows.
lots of pillows.
Pillows. Yeah. I have the regular pillows, and then I have the body pillows.
I
It's
saw this
just all
body pillow
pillows.
the other day that goes all the way. It not only goes all the way around. It's like a U shape, but it's this particular like squishy fabric.
Uh,
And my friend Sibylla from Berkeley messaged me and she said, "Do we need these?" I go, "We just might need those. We just might."
I've have you seen the ones that have the arms that's supposed to like cradle you and oh yeah, oh yeah.
No. I've seen the one if you have a bad shoulder and
Yes.
it's raised, and then there's a cutout place for just your arm to go through.
Right,
No,
right.
there's one that hugs you, a pillow that
There's one
hugs,
that hugs you.
and it's
Yes, a
not a
body pillow
doll or
that hugs you.
anything. It's like a real pillow.
Yeah, no, it's a real pillow. There's no, there's just appendages, no orifices.
How cute. Hi, Lee Cooper. What's going on? Your brother Lee Cooper's here.
Hi, Lee. Hi, Julie. Hi, Mike. Hi,
Mike
G Mike.
Jacobs is on. Mike is on. Mike, please, please, please. Hey, Mike, what are you doing next Thursday night, as in this coming Thursday night? Because I'm in need for a conversations with the creatives. It's at 11 p.m. Eastern time. Let me know. So, purple in the house. What kind of is that a hoodie you have rocking there?
Yeah, it's a hoodie that I got as a Christmas gift a couple years ago.
I like it.
Uh, it's a nebula, I guess. It was described as a nebula.
I
So
think that's cool. I bet you're a good gift giver.
I am not.
You're not? Oh, I would think that you were
No,
super creative in your gift giving.
early on when money was plentiful,
I'm
then
not talking
yeah,
about money. I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about you. If it's not even about money, I just think that you have a good heart for if you see something and or you make it, you're a good gift giver.
I would think so. I would think so. I think I give every day. So in that logic, yes, then I am an
Well, you're
awesome
a
gift giver.
caregiver, so I relate to that. There are a lot of fellow caregivers on this page right now today. By the way, did you all take your medicines that you need to take? Medicines,
E-
supplements?
Everybody,
Get it
yes, I
on.
took I took my insulin this morning.
Have you seen that new, or maybe you do it, that new way I just think about my brother and my dad and you and everybody I know that's diabetic and that always has to test on their fingers. Have you seen that thing you can just put it up to your phone up to your arm now?
Oh yeah, I've seen that. I don't know if my insurance covers something like that,
Exactly.
but yeah,
But you
yeah,
just go like this with the app.
right.
And
You just
then
scan it.
I kind of wonder how accurate it is. I'm sure it is, but
Yeah, I would assume it is. I mean, it would have to be, so fairly accurate. I'd be afraid to get a bad reading on one of those things.
right. But
Yeah.
I must get ready. Oh, Lee's getting ready for a chaperone to chaperone a play date.
Uh-oh. Mm, Lee. I don't know, man. You got to keep them interested in sports as long as possible.
Well, his son's a great tennis player and
Yep.
gymnastics. Is the festival in Mexico still on? At this point, it's still on. As of today, I watch. Um, I'm one of the guardians of that particular Facebook page, and it hasn't said we're not doing it yet, but it may happen. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. So, what was your week like?
Um, it was pretty uneventful, you know, just standard fare, just plugging away still, you know. It's good. I've
Make
had a lot of time to kind of reflect on my position, and like I said, I think I said in the past that even though it's challenging every day, I'm happy for the position that I'm in, and grateful and thankful. So
Yeah. Well, it's a
yeah.
it's a 180 from your life, and
Oh yeah,
but you're doing it to the highest level.
oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Um, oh yeah, no, I did actually get some forward movement on my new prosthetic. Yeah,
In
yeah.
the
So
sense
that's going to
of,
be.
I can't even talk. You're the first person I've talked to other than, well, Mama Grace I talk to every morning. Are you, is it ordered? Do you have it? Are you
No,
fitted?
I've already gone for a casting, and that's basically the casting of my stump, and the socket where the stump sits in uh, is a smaller size. So I'm peeling off my leg right now to show you. This is considered the socket, this part here, right? And this is based on my amputation from a year and a half ago. And so as the muscle atrophies, it shrinks. And so now the new socket that I've gotten sized out actually fits inside this current socket. So that's how much my stump has shrunk in the past year and a half.
So is that something that you will forever be sized for, fitted for?
Yeah, eventually it's going to shrink down to the point where it's going to be as shrunk down as possible. But right now it's still atrophying, so it's still going minimizing.
And do you
But
walk? Do you feel like you walk once you get the right fit?
yeah, yeah, no, I get around okay. I can't really stand in a queue very long. I have to kind of stay in motion to be able to stay comfortable. Um, it There's a liner inside that's made of silicone like this, see, and then I've had this one for a year and a half, and I worn a hole in it already.
Oh,
Yeah,
you need a big
and
old
so
band-aid for that boo-boo, right?
oh yeah, no, it's developed this callus that's all skinned up here, but it's healing. It's healing. But because my stump keeps shrinking, I have these sizing socks, and these sizing socks are various degrees of thickness. And right now, because it's shrunk down so much, there's about 5 or 6 of these. That
Wow.
yeah. So hope in 2 weeks I'll have my new prosthetic, and then I get rid of at least the sizing socks, and I get a new one of these
Good.
along with the leg. So
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
yeah, yeah,
Do you wear it every day?
yes, yes. When I got the amputation in 2020, January 2020, that was right at the beginning of the pandemic, and I spent like 2 months ish in a nursing home recuperating. And right about February, they started locking down the nursing home. So they restricted visits and restricted day passes. So patients couldn't go out and visitors couldn't come in. Right there at the beginning of the pandemic, and I checked out a week before they restricted the patients to their rooms, so the patients couldn't even roam the hallways or anything in that facility a week after I left. But I spent that whole year in a wheelchair, really. Um, yeah, and I really didn't wear my prosthetic much, being in that isolated condition. So yeah, but since May, since I've been out here, I've worn it every day. I've been on it every day.
It's like
And
it's you
yeah,
wake up and that's what you do.
yep, yep. I mean, I still have issues with having to get up in the middle of the night and use the restroom, and for some reason my PM schedule is off. But
Yeah.
I get I get
Well,
that urge at
welcome
two
to that
o'clock in the
party.
morning. Oh my gosh. So I have to quickly throw on all the accoutrements onto the stump and put the leg on and hobble myself to the bathroom. It's not such an easy, like, just get up and go kind of thing.
Could you sleep with it on if you wanted to?
Yeah, but it's kind of like sleeping with your shoes on.
Got it.
Eventually your feet will start to ache, right? And so yeah, that stump kind of aches, and yeah. And it's heavy too. But it's a lot easier for me to just go ahead and just put everything on and hobble my way over there.
Well, you're getting refitted in on the East Coast.
Yes. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I
So
was
it's
in
working out.
seventh grade, was I seventh grade? I was with my cousin Jackie. We imbibed in a particular substance beforehand, And she said, "Do you want to go over and see my friend Joe?" And I said, "Sure." So we roll over to Joey's house, and he lives in the basement. And we go downstairs, and I walk in, and he's in his bed, sitting up in bed. And this is
Hmm.
Joe, Jenna, Joe. Really, Joe James, really cool guy. And then all of a sudden, I looked over in the corner, and there were a pair of jeans, full on pair of jeans, sitting like half of a body.
Uh,
And I'm like, whoa, I don't know what's going on here. And they kind of, they were sort of joking, like, Jenna, can you bring those jeans over here? And I picked it up, and they were his prosthetics. He had been,
uh,
he, it was a terrible accident that he had and lost both his legs up to his hips.
wow, wow.
And so I helped, and I helped carry them over to him. And he could get up, his arms were ripped and he could just jump up and put them on, but he had this little thing that he'd strap on. And I thought, wow, this is how this person has to live the rest of their life. And here I was carrying these two legs and a butt, like a whole thing, over to him to the bed. I'll never forget. That was my first experience in that world, and gave me much respect for him and anybody that has to deal with that.
Yeah, yeah. All the patriarchs in my family, all my older uncles, my grandfather, my father, they all had various fingers cut off, and it was interesting just because it was just like that particular age group, that particular gender, and just learned that it was lopped off in like fielding accidents, stuff like that. But
Yeah.
it would seem like so common growing up that it never was just like a thing. It was just like, oh, he's got three fingers, he's got four fingers.
And
So,
yet he still worked and kept his life rolling.
oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Now I've said this on the show many times. Alex was a big help to me when my dad first had his amputation, because we didn't know how to treat it. We didn't know what it needed to be done. And I watched my dad get what's called debriding on a regular basis, and
Right.
just like how a person has to go through that kind of pain is
Yeah,
remarkable.
yeah, yeah. Debreeding is when you have that ulcer, like sore, infected sore on the bottom of your foot, and it's concaved. It dips in. It's kind of deep, and a lot of times the edging around the sore itself, it gets saturated in the moisture, the sweat, all that stuff to develop. It's called maceration, and so debreeding is when they cut back all of that flesh, and they actually take away the edges, so it goes in more concave. So when it heals like this instead of healing over,
Yeah.
right? And so, you'd think you'd make all this progress during the week before the debreeding, then you'd go into the doctor's office and he'd cut away all that progress, and you'd leave there with a bloody foot, you know. My experiences were bittersweet just because I was fortunate enough to have neuropathy and have
So you didn't
numb
feel
feet,
okay.
so I didn't feel it.
Yeah, he
But
felt it.
also that was yeah,
Yeah, he felt it, and then I just look
yeah,
at him and go, "You want to go get a hamburger, a chocolate shake? Whatever you want, let's go." Or
yeah,
after when we were evacuated from my sister's, um, a whole other thing happened, but he ended up having we had a nurse that came to the house,
hmm,
then another doctor that was incredible in Walnut Creek that we went to, because he was treated up in um, northern, up north, and then we had to come down in the Bay Area, and people were on it. But
yeah,
yeah, Just something that you don't, yeah, like what Julie just said, how you adapt with such grace. And you've adapted with grace and honesty about it. It's like some people don't want to talk about it, or it's too painful for them to talk about it. And I'm not even saying let's talk about it, but that's just where we're at right now. And I appreciate your being human and having the empathy for yourself and to be able to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, I look at I look at my experiences to this point as a cautionary tale. What not to do, and if I can teach by sharing my bad behavior and my lack of discipline and can still get up every day and make the best of it, then that's what I'm here for now. You know, if I can help somebody, you know, it's just
And you are. As
oh yeah,
you're being a caretaker. You're a caretaker. How incredible is that?
yeah,
You could have just
yeah,
decided to stay in that wheelchair or stay in that life and do that other life that you were in. And
exactly. Exactly. I mean, and in all honesty, that's where I saw myself, is just existing, and just filling space and be independent, but maintaining my own lifestyle and living situation. And and I survived that process for a year, 2 years, and it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. I, I couldn't do it, and so I jumped on the opportunity to be productive and have a purpose.
thank you. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on for your standing ovation.
How'd you fit so many people in my room?
See? There's a lot of people. It gets loud too, because sometimes they
It
go on
does.
forever. I'm wearing these glasses, you guys, because the light just has really been getting to my eyes, and they're blue blocking glasses. I have this big light up here. I really need to get a larger. I think I want a larger light so it's not so hyper focused on my eyes. But anyway, that's that. So what are you making today? Sunday lunch.
Oh, well, I'm gonna do a couple things. Uh, the woman I caretake for, she's got to be on a low carb, no sugar, high protein diet for the next couple days, and so uh, I have to kind of alter what we were going to do. I've got some things in mind, but she's going to get something, and then I'm going to actually make a Farsi style pagao rice. It's kind of a mix of two cultures, I believe. That's how I've been explained. Anyway, it's like I'm going to do a brown rice, going to cook it about 70%, and then going to put it in a pot that's going to be oiled and have potatoes and onions on the bottom.
Hmm.
Pile that rice back on top, shove a bunch of butter cubes in there, mix it with some ground beef and
Wow.
some spinach. I think I have spinach too, right? Mix that all together and then put it on low for about an hour, and that'll finish out the rice, and then it'll make the veggies on the bottom crunchy and
Yeah.
caramelized, and you just kind of stir it all together, and it's really a nice little meal. I haven't
So
made that yet for the family here.
does she like greens? Does she like broccoli and different?
A lot of greens make her gassy, and so we're trying to, find a happy little medium. I know she can do spinaches. I do salads, so we'll probably end up doing a couple salads today, maybe. Well, within the next couple days, figure it out.
Yeah, that salad
Yeah.
thing. Do you go where do you what kind of shopping? What kind of stores do you go do your shopping? Are you a market
Uh,
farmers
just
market
just
guy?
just regular markets, really. The closest one. grocery stores. You know, uh, it's a little, groceries are a little bit more expensive out here on the East Coast. You know, they do have local fare, but I'm used to like the California fare, like everything that
Right.
California offers. You
Right.
know, and
But
so
right now in the east, well, in the Midwest, I know I'm going to a farmer's market today, and there's everything there. I mean, there's so
yeah,
many. Everything's at peak right now. Still, you can still get blueberries. You can still get some peaches. Corn is great. Watermelon's great. Lettuce, all the greens and stuff. I
yeah.
know it does sound. Julie said, "Darn, you're too far away for me to make it for dinner, Alex." You could almost get there. Jump on a plane right now.
Let's go. Come on.
8:30 your time. You could probably get there. You'd get there by dinner time.
Yep. Figure it out.
So I'm going to ask you this in a not so obvious question, but that the site that the page you were talking about, was it the one that I invited you to, where the photo of your parents?
Oh, no, no, no.
Okay.
No, that was
Okay.
Oakland history. That was that was Oakland history.
Really?
Yeah, I
Oakland
mean
history.
there's a lot of people in that group, and they're spread out all over the place. Um, and it's a really awesome page. A lot of historical stuff. They have some rules, like nothing that's before the year 2000, historical type information and stuff like that. But it's really awesome, normally. And I've had really good experiences sharing things. I haven't been like a major contributor, but I have contributed interesting little pieces. And I had discovered one of my brothers had a picture of my parents
So
from the 40s. Yeah, it was a really beautiful picture. Very stoic individuals, very candid, right? Walking down the street,
power couple. They're the power couple.
right, right. But then people started, what they do on the internet. And granted, I had a lot of people. I misidentified where the picture was taken, and so a lot of people go, "Oh, well, that intersection doesn't exist." That
Right.
intersection, a bunch of those. Um,
People are also
I
smart
describe
on the internet.
right. I described my dad's suit as a zoot suit, and while it's not like a zoot suit with the high waist and the full drape of the pants, it was a large jacket. The pants were draped that just weren't pulled all the way up to here. But then I had somebody point out that it wasn't a zoot suit, and then posted a few examples like, that's not a zoot suit. This is a zoot suit, and this is a zoot suit, and this is a zoot suit. Okay, I got it the first time. So that annoyed me. That pushed my buttons. And then because of the seriousness of their faces, people were saying they don't look happy, and that just like
I thought
pushed
it
me
was
over
like
the edge.
I was thinking your dad has got his beautiful wife on his arm, and he's going to protect her to the end, and the mom is like, and I take no shit from anybody, so let's just roll, honey, we're the power couple. I loved it.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think my mom was maybe about 19,
Was she
20.
really?
Yeah, in that picture,
Wow.
maybe in that age. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And my dad, I think, was like 15 years older than her. She married him at 15. She was the second oldest of nine siblings. And at the time that she got out of the house, there were like six, seven, and she had a lot of the responsibility of taking care of them while their parents, my grandmother and grandfather, were out working. And so a lot of the responsibility fell on her to kind of manage the kids. And so one of the reasons she got married early was she was going to get out of the house and and take on the responsibility of her own family as opposed to
So
a bunch
she
of siblings.
they met when she was 15 and he was 30 ish.
Ish, I think. Yeah, yeah. I might be a little off on that, but I know that he had some years on her.
Hi,
Yeah.
Lil. Hi, pretty girl. Hi, Pretty girl. And then she ended up having how many children?
My mom, she had three kids,
Three kids.
three boys, and I was the youngest of three.
Are you the
Yep,
baby?
I am the baby. I am the baby. My father, however, he had two more kids, I think, out of wedlock. Well, three, but we won't get into one. Um, but
Three, one doesn't
um,
exist.
no, yeah, she exists. But uh, I have an older brother in Mexico, and he manages the family ranch, agricultural ranch. That's pretty large. And then I have my two older brothers from my mom, and then I have a sister, half sister, who's maybe like 4 years, 3 years older than me.
Uh-oh, Lillian found a plastic bag, everybody. Hold on. Pearl!
Score! Run, Lillian! Run for the hills! Go!
Crazy girl. Crazy girl. He says, what's my... You know how when they... With cats, they love boxes? Lillian loves bags.
The
She loves
crunchy noises that they make.
bags. I'm sorry for that interruption.
No. Hi,
So
Lily.
where's your other
Look at
brother?
her.
Your brother's in Mexico.
Uh,
Brother's where?
okay, so I have the half brother in Mexico. I have my oldest brother is in LA, and the middle brother is in Mexico as well. And then me, the baby,
The
all
baby.
at 55.
Are you guys all about the same size?
My oldest brother is the shortest. Me and my middle brother have the height of my dad. Yeah, yeah.
Because your dad, he seemed like a big dude.
Um, yeah. He did have some height to him. My half brother in Mexico is also really tall. So, yeah. They were. He was. We get that from him, I guess.
Are you near any water where you are now?
I'm like maybe 15 minutes from Lake George.
Okay.
Yeah.
Someone sent me a message. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah,
Lillian.
Lake George is really beautiful. It reminds me a lot of Lake Tahoe in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
Just
you did
the
mention
lake
that a
and how
while
it's
back. And I knew there was
yeah.
water there. I just couldn't remember. Do you guys get there much?
Um, no, I mean the last time we were out there was for Fourth of July. Uh, there are creeks and the Hudson River is close by as well, so that's a large body of water. I'm a lot closer to the Hudson.
It's so pretty there. I
The
love it.
cleaner part of the Hudson, not the lower New York Hudson.
Oh, come on. We love the Hudson River. I love the Hudson River. So what, today you're cooking and then you're just going to be chilling? Are you watching anything groovy online?
Um, some things, there's some interesting movies that have piqued my interest on this one site that I go to. So I probably might watch a couple of those. But overall, just the same old stuff. I mean,
It's a good day.
I mean, when I'm not caretaking, I'm napping, and so when I nap, I have some ambient music playing in the background, and that's a lot of uh, uh, 60s, 70s R&B, you know.
Hmm.
So that lulls
You,
me to sleep at
how
night.
do you listen to music?
Pandora. I've curated my Pandora account for a long, long time, like very, very long. So I've got it pretty much dialed in. Uh, I get my R&B from uh, my established Isley Brothers station. So I go Isley Brothers, and they play Isleys, and then everything within that genre, really.
I wish that when I met the guys from Pandora, they were just starting out and they were looking for content. and I gave them, I think, 3 CDs, maybe four. At least I gave them 4 CDs, but they only uploaded my Inner Smile CD, and
Hmm.
it takes. And then the guy sold. I used to have friends that worked there, musicians that those are the main people that work there to do the programming because they can sit there and
Right.
analyze music. And I used to have friends that worked there, so I'd be like, "Hey, here's my new CD. Here's my." But in the beginning, they asked me for content. I gave it to them, but I got lost in the shuffle. So I
Yeah.
think my Pandora page is kind of sleepy. It
Yeah.
put you to sleep.
Yeah.
Definitely put you to sleep.
At this point, all music puts me to sleep. I mean, there's a lot of times where it gets on shuffle, and there's a lot of hip hop in my playlist, and so there's a lot of rap that comes on, and even that lulls me to sleep. So
You got to represent the 510, right, Lil?
right, right, like there's my friend's boyfriend. He is a hip hop and rap aficionado, and but he doesn't know any. He doesn't really have knowledge on like Too Short or E40 or all the guys from the guys hieroglyphics, Dell, and all these East Bay and Bay Area guys. They really has no knowledge of, and so it's always fun to introduce him to like Mac Dre and and other artists from the Bay Area that he's never heard of.
Hella 510. Too Short used to call me Paula Abdul. I used, I used to work at a recording studio in Berkeley that became known for recording hip hop. There's a guy by the name of Dale Everingham who I need to get on the show. He goes by D Wiz. D Wiz is this big, tall, blonde guy that has worked with every master of hip hop. I need to get him on the show. And I've known Dale for 35 years. And so I would be working at the studio, and Too Short would be there, and he'd walk in and he'd go, "Hey, Paula." And at first I was like, he's like, "You look like Paula Abdul. I'm going to call you Paula." I'm like, "Cool, dude. Too Short." And it would be him with his crew there, and they'd be there till 3, 4, or 5 o'clock in the morning. And I lived at the studio. I lived in the house where
Okay.
the studio is. So there were times where Dale would call me I'd be sleepy. He's like, "Hey, can you come down and sing a background part on this?" I'd be like, "Yeah." I'd run downstairs, and there'd be me, and you know, the Tonys worked there a lot, and Vogue made their record there, and lots of people.
Nice.
We had a good time.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
the late '80s, early '90s.
That's awesome. I when I was working at BPG, I had one of my managers there who had some friends, and they had bands, and one of the bandmates was part of the Charmers. He was in the Big Nasty with Smitty. He does the booking at the new university, the new theater
Theater.
there, the new UC. Yeah, but the guy who played bass for you in the Charmers.
Um, he was the original Charmer, Ryan Lucas.
Yeah, Ryan Lucas. There he is. Yes,
He
yes, Ryan Lucas.
he
He
worked.
was in he was in a band that one of the managers at BPG knew, a friend of a friend kind of thing, right? Really good friend. It was Smitty. Smitty was the percussionist, and Ryan was the bassist, and there was a couple other guys, and they were kind of Bay Area
Yeah,
bluegrass, kind of,
yeah.
you
And then
know.
they moved. They all moved
Yeah,
up to Tahoe or Reno or something like that. But the
exactly,
guy
exactly.
from UC Theater, he checked us out at the Ivy Room one night. Now, yeah, it all comes forward.
Yeah,
Ryan is
Smitty.
Smitty, okay, and Ryan is now living either He's either in North Carolina or back in the Bay Area. I can't remember. Tremendous bass player. Wow.
Oh yeah, awesome,
Really,
awesome.
really awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome bass player. And I love his clothing. He always has he'd wear like a leopard print suit. And then I'd be like, okay, dude, you're going to wear a leopard print suit. I'm going to wear my leopard print boots. And you're going to wear that. And we had a good time together. Yeah, I wish he would have been able to stay with the band because I love who we play with, don't get me wrong. But he was an original charmer.
Yeah.
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 Actually, he wasn't the original charmer. Aaron Germain was the original charmer. Aaron left the band. Ryan came in. We made the record. Then Ryan left, and then Aaron became the back
Wow.
to the original charmer. But now the next
Wow.
gig we're doing on September 11th in Berkeley, Aaron is unavailable, and we have a new bass player for that
Okay.
gig.
What venue there in Berkeley?
We're playing at the Back Room, which is on man, my brain just left. It's on I'll tell you where it is. You know that little street?
Shattuck and Durant?
No, it's on UC. It's right below the UC Theater on that Back Room Berkeley. I'll tell you. I know it, but I can't think of it right now. It's on Bonita Street.
Okay.
You know where that seafood place used to be?
Yes.
You're at UC Theater and you go across the street and you go down a little bit, right on that corner there was the seafood market.
I remember.
And
Yes.
Bonita is
Yes.
that little tiny half street. It doesn't go through.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
right there.
Okay.
And
All right.
and Sam, who runs the back room, figured out a way during the pandemic to have all the shows outside. So we play outside.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Nice.
we'll be there on.
Man, I miss Berkeley.
Oh,
I miss the Bay Area.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Gosh. God.
Hopefully, I'll get to see. I'm going to make sure Moish is around, and because it's early enough that he won't be in bed yet. Because it's bed at like 7 o'clock. Gets up
Yeah.
at like 4, so good on him. But
Right.
I'm going to get this little girl outside. She's looking at me like, Mom, can we please go outside? Because she's going on a shopping spree today at the pet store.
Charge it.
This girl, she's getting a shopping spree. Friend of mine called me up, dear friend, said, I'd like to take Lillian on a shopping spree. I'm like, okay. I'd like to go on a shopping spree too. But anything Lillian gets, I benefit because it makes her life better. So we're going to go on a shopping spree and we're going to go to the farmer's market and see Julie from Collinsworth Farm. Speaking of
How's her what? Dukla. How's
her
your Dukla?
clot, it's healed over. She's still, because it was a habit before of licking it, she's still licking it. And she's still licking on her shoulder, but the x-rays are all clear. So it's just more of a soothing habit. But
Does she
yeah.
have to wear the cone? Does she have to wear the cone of shame?
No, she wears I'll show you what she wears. Maybe.
The neck pillow of shame.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'm not putting it on you. She wears
She's run away.
she wears
Plastic bag.
cute little
Save me.
cute little
Donut.
clown collar, I call it. It's soft.
Oh,
She's like, please, Mom, don't put that on me again. Please. So yeah, the cone. She says her neck is too small for the cone.
yeah.
It
Yeah,
would,
she's tiny.
and they kind of create a whole other fear thing. But at least that collar is padded so she could lean on it. It's kind of like the pillow we were talking about, but it
Right.
doesn't have arms. I'm gonna go check out that pillow. I'll show it to Simpla. I'm like, maybe we need this one because we. But this other one, I think I'll send you the link to it because I
Okay.
see you're a pillow aficionado too, so you know pillows.
I love my pillows. I love my pillows.
Thank you, Alex Martinez.
Thank you, Jenna Mammina.
Can you make it next Sunday?
With bells on. I have to go buy bells.
Cool. Well, you're always welcome on Sunday nights. Poetry Glam is tonight if you happen to be awake at 11:11 and you want to read a poem.
If I happen to be awake, I'll try and be there.
Okay. Thank
All
you.
right.
Have a great week and have a lovely meal today. That sounds so good.
Yeah, I can't wait to share it. It's going to be awesome, I hope.
Sounds like it's going to be really awesome.
Yeah.
Say hi to your
Yeah.
fam.
I will. I'll let them know. Thank you. See you,
Thanks.
everybody. Have a great day.
Alex
Stay
Martinez.
healthy.
Bye. Hey, I need a letter. Oh, he's gone. Can I have a letter, please? What is it? A?
A. A for
A
Alex.
for Alex, please.
A.
A for Alex. Yes, I know. I know he's cool, but he has such an apple in his eye, and I know that sometimes I can't think of words that start with A. So I'll just say I'm like the font. A, you're so cool.
A.
Day. Alex Martinez, I hope that you have a wonderful day and that you get to say and maybe play some Uno too with you know who and everyone. I hope that you have an absolutely thoughtful way today, and I hope that all of you have amor. Words, amor, that's love in another word. And I know that Lily and Pearl were going out, yes. And all of your hearts are full of love and full of. I can't think of a word that starts with A about. I know all of you, and I know my brain sometimes has a snafu, so say, hey. All of you have a beautiful day. Stay safe, stay healthy, be nice, and we'll see you tonight at Poetry Glam.
A.
Amazing. Amazing.
Amazing.
May all
Astounding.
amazing and astounding have a super, 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 super A kind of day.
Hey, all right. Thank you. You too.
Love
Take care,
heart.
everybody. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Love you guys.
Love you too, man. Alex Martinez, everybody. It's amazing. Sometimes you absolutely can't think of a thing to say. All right, I'm out. Mama Grace, see you in a minute. Everybody else, see you tonight. Poetry Glam. Come on, share the fun. As I said, love hard. Thanks, Morocco's. Really hard.